News releases used to be the standard way of pitching stories to reporters. But are they still necessary now that the media have so many more ways to find out about what you do, for example through social media? The short answer is yes. The news release still plays an important role because it is a great tool to provide relevant details about a newsworthy event, a product or service, but ideally only after you have interested a reporter through a personalized, targeted and relevant pitch. Issuing a well-written and truly newsworthy news release also indicates your professionalism and the importance of your topic. It also helps you highlight and memorialize important milestones for your organization. But before you draft a news release, so you don't waste your time and money, ask yourself if the story you want to pitch truly is important, novel and relevant to the audiences you are targeting. Reporters receive hundreds of news releases every day that are totally irrelevant to their beat, not newsworthy, and that were sent primarily because a client paid a PR firm to do so. If you have a truly newsworthy story to pitch, it actually does not make any sense to send it out indiscriminately through Newswire to thousands of reporters. Instead, it's better to carefully target the most relevant outlets and reporters in the order of importance. The main effect of sending a news release to thousands of reporters, for example through a service like PR Newswire, is that you're afterwards told that your news release was posted on hundreds of media outlets, reaching a potential audience of so and so many million readers and viewers. You may also get a big binder with impressive graphs and lists detailing this reach. The dirty secret is that news releases sent out in this fashion end up on special press release sections of media sites like The Washington Post, CNBC or MarketWatch that reporters and normal media consumers rarely ever read. These pages are also usually clearly marked as content that is not deliberately chosen by the editors, but was placed there automatically and because somebody paid for it. But because news releases end up on these pages, newswires and some PR agencies will present you with impressive sounding audience numbers. But in reality, they usually just add up the respective website's total number of monthly users, and not the number of users that actually saw your release. Sometimes PR companies will even characterize these placements to their client as pickups, as if the editors at the publications had made a deliberate decision to select and publish your news release. Nothing could be farther from the truth. So here are a few suggestions for a better way of getting news coverage about what you do. Ideally, begin cultivating reporters months before you have something to pitch. Do some research and find out about the 20 or so stories in the last year that you wish had been about you. Prioritize them in the order of importance. Then try to dig up the contact information for the reporters. Often you can find their email address in their articles, on their bio pages, or else on the web simply by Googling around a little bit. This can also be a great project for a volunteer or intern. By far the majority of reporters, according to surveys, prefer to receive story pitches by email and not through Twitter, Facebook or LinkedIn. Therefore, once you have your list of reporters, contact them individually by email. Introduce yourself, indicate that you have researched the subject matters that the reporters cover. Say why your work is relevant to them. Offer yourself up as a source or an expert for future stories of theirs. Try to be helpful. In other words, create a relationship before you ask them to write about you and before you send them an actual pitch. Having an established relationship with, say, the most important 24 reporters who cover your subject is 100,000 times more valuable than sending out a news release indiscriminately to thousands of reporters whom you do not have a relationship with. When you have a genuinely interesting story, compose a personal email pitch in which you use no more than 100 words to describe your story and explain why it matters. Include the formal news release in the same email message, but do not attach it. Carefully pick a subject line that will get the reporter's attention. And in your pitch, be short, straightforward, and put an emphasis on the value of your information to the audiences of the reporter. Try to include useful add-ons like photos and a list of experts ready to be interviewed, but don't attach anything to the email. If you can provide images, include a download link inside the email, for instance to a public Dropbox folder. If your story is really interesting, consider offering exclusivity. Getting just one story in a high-profile publication like the New York Times is more valuable than getting a dozen pickups in second-tier publications. Do not follow up with reporters more than once if you don't hear back from them. And take a reporter off your mailing list if so asked. It is important to show respect. In your email summary, look for the Grand Impact News Release Primer. It offers a template for drafting a great news release. It also contains sample news releases and a sample email message to a reporter designed to build that initial relationship. You will also receive information about common news release pitfalls and tips for avoiding them, including good and bad examples of news release writing side by side with helpful explanations. Last but not least, remember you can use the blue help button to initiate a ticket to get in touch with us. We are here to help you with feedback on your news release, your email pitches, or any other questions related to communications.